All right. Okay, we should be live. Yes, we are live. Cool. All right, and we already got a crowd. Hello, folks. All right. So who all's here? Peter Ang, Jeffrey, Matt, Zathras, Comic Tropes, Brandon Knight, John Russell. Hello, Peter Ang. Hi, Matt Rubin. Robert Monty, hello. Kerouac, my goodness. All the usual suspects are here. Yeah. Well, I look exactly like Steve Grogan, right? And for this jersey, I got a size larger than I usually get because sometimes I'll when it's cold, I'll wear it over a hoodie or something. So I wanted to have plenty of room in this one. But yeah. Hello, Leah. Hello, J.K. Siege, Armor Magnus. Hello, Agnetha. But yes, this is a Steve Grogan jersey. And it's a replica. It's not like one of the authentic ones, like the really nice ones. But this is actually, it's actually not that easy to find a Steve Grogan jersey nowadays. Living the hoodie brand. That's right. Hello, Jason. Jason Karras, nice to see you. Cobra Island, WWJD85. And WWJD85 is saying hi while eating birthday cake. So happy birthday if it's your birthday. If it's not, then happy birthday to whomever it is. Hey, Sparkster, nice to see you. It has the same name as CoverGirl's real name. That's a crazy coincidence. Although if you're going to be named after someone, that's not a bad person to be named after. Hello, MCDJ ACDC and The Real Nightmare. Yeah, we got stuff to talk about. Hello, Doug Dello and Duke. Yeah, I've been intending to get one of these for a long time. You guys know I'm a Pats fan anyway. I got to work on the porn stash. Yeah, I'll get started right on that. Now, there is a reason that I don't have a mustache. I have tried to grow a mustache more than one occasion, but it don't turn out very well. Hello, Green Yeti. And James White. My goodness, everybody's here. Sussy Minion. And Viper, hello. I think I said hello to MCDJ ACDC, so hello again if I did already. Hello, Action Figure Expert. There is a lot in the news. There is so much to talk about. After we're done saying our hellos, we can start talking about some of them. Because, my goodness, a lot of stuff has happened. Yes, including the announcement of a 6-inch G.I. Joe line. We got to talk about that. That's right, Jack. That's right. 6 full inches of Joe. That's 6 inches of GI. Yeah, we got to talk about that. There's a lot of news. A lot of news. Hello, Painted Plastic and Beach 76. Hello, and Glenn Robbins. Yeah, Pats didn't quite make it this year. I wasn't expecting them to get very far in the playoffs, honestly. I saw how they played this year, and I didn't have a lot of faith in them. We got a leaky offensive line, and our receivers don't get open, so it's kind of hard to get a lot going on offense when you got that. Yeah, next year. But still, I'm enjoying the playoffs. It's been fun. Brandon, I still need to send that to Green Yeti. I have not made it to the post office yet. My fault, but I'm working on it. Yes, Tom Brady is staying. At least he released a statement that seems to say that he will continue in New England next year. Agnetha, Agnetha asked the question, so let's just go ahead and get started right into topic number 1, which is there is going to be a line of 6-inch G.I. Joe figures. It's a small line of figures. It's like the first assortment is, I think, 4 figures? Let me look it up here really quick. It's like I think Duke and Snake Eyes. Where is it? Yeah, it's been everywhere lately. Yeah, okay, so Wave 1 is allegedly going to be Snake Eyes, Destro, Duke, Scarlet, and Roadblock. So, those are fairly popular characters, so that's kind of what I would expect them to start with. Oh, yeah, okay, sorry, Comic Tropes corrects me. Duke, Snake Eyes, Roadblock, Scarlet, and Destro. Yeah, Duke, Snake Eyes, Roadblock, Scarlet, Destro. That's it. And I mean, those are the characters that are most recognizable, so I think that's expected. Now, as I think most of you are aware, I don't collect modern figures, so it's not really. It doesn't really. It's not marketed toward me anyway. But a lot of people do collect modern figures, and so now you'll have to decide if you want to add 6-inch figures to your 4-inch figure collection. So you got a totally different scale here, which some people have been asking for. Some people have been wanting it. Brandon says 6-inch figures will make it collecting hard, bigger shelf space. That may be an issue that a lot of people have. However, I think the line is going to be pretty small. Like, even when they get through all the waves, I don't think it's going to be a lot of figures. And they have the new Snake Eyes movie coming out in October. And we should be getting movie-related figures, and so I'm kind of expecting those figures to be in the 4-inch scale. And Forge asks a good question: is this through Jazzwares? That's the other piece of news that came out recently, is that Jazzwares got the license for G.I. Joe. And Jazzwares has put out some 6-inch figures, especially related to Fortnite. And so everybody's kind of expecting the Jazzwares figures to be like that. But I don't know. That's not clear. I think probably so. I think probably yes, but I don't know that for a fact yet. So I think the 6-inch figures are supposed to come out in June. And it's been confirmed certain retailers were given the opportunity to pre-order them. And I guess one of them leaked. There's supposed to be an embargo on the information, but somebody leaked it, so now it's out there everywhere. So retailers have already been pre-ordering them. So that's, that pretty much confirms that it's coming. Rumor is it's called G.I. Joe Classified. And that could be. There's been a lot of information come out, and I'm not sure how much of it is true. So I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of waiting to see what will end up being confirmed. Hello, Codename Flares. Nice to see you. John Ulrich and Max Rezakai. Hello. Good to see you. G.I. Gary. Yeah, so we will get more information as it gets closer. I don't collect modern figures. What I will probably do... not so classified now. What I will probably do is pick up a couple of them just to kind of see what they're about. But I will not be collecting the whole line. I don't do modern. That's not my collecting focus. And it doesn't have anything to do with whether the modern figures are good or bad or whatever. It's just, that's not my focus. So that's happening. I do think that the price point will probably be kind of high. Hello, Tim Bentley. Excuse me. I think the price point will probably be kind of high, which to me, I mean, I suspect it'll be aimed more at adult collectors. The hope, of course, would be that with another movie coming out and maybe some additional media related to it, that it would inspire a new generation of fan. So, I mean, to do that, I mean, you got to appeal to more than just. Hang on there. There we go. You got to do more than just sell things to people who are already collectors, right? You gotta actually do something that appeals to somebody new and somebody who's not familiar with everything that we already have. Hello, Steven. So, but at the same time, I think it makes total sense to also have something that is marketed to the existing collectors. So, it's, I think the fans are going to be a little mixed about this, because I know a lot of guys did want 6-inch figures, and there was a Kickstarter recently by Bobby Valla that was for 6-inch G.I. Joe style figures that recently got funded. But then I know a lot of other collectors are like, I can't add another scale to what I already have. And I really can see both of those points. I think both of those are really good points. Green Yeti, he was also flooding the chat, and so we need to not do that. Duke says, we'll be buying 6-inch just for my sons to play with. Well, that's cool. And I hope that the 6-inch figures that you get will actually be, like, playable. I'm hoping that they won't be, like, really just only fit to pose and put on a shelf. I hope it will be something that somebody could actually play with. But on the flip side of that, I think that there probably will be 4-inch scale figures with vehicles that will be released with in conjunction, with the movie. So yeah. Let's see. Toy Fair is coming up in February, and we ought to know more at Toy Fair. That's what I'm expecting. Live on tape from Hollywood. What is that? That's from the Gong Show, isn't it? Comic Trope says 6-inch is expensive and the line is small. Suspect it'll be retro design aimed at collectors. Yeah, so that's what I think they'll probably do. Like the look of the figures will be reminiscent of their of their classic or most recognizable designs. So you'll get something that's like a version 1 Destro and a version 1, or maybe a version 2 Snake Eyes, something like that. Doug says, Toy Galaxy had a video showing Hasbro 6-inch lines with vehicles, only smaller ones, so vehicles would be limited but not impossible. They could. I mean, it's not inconceivable to do vehicles, but it's a lot harder, and the vehicles that you do get will be pricey. There's just no way around that. And the G.I. Joe, like the base of collectors is not as big as, say, Star Wars. Hello, Lexi. Hello, Lexi. Thank you for joining. So, I mean, it's going to be hard for them to move a lot of units. So, to me, that just translates into a higher price point per unit. That's just what I'm expecting. I mean, if that's not what it is, that's great. I mean, the lower the price point, the better. It makes it more available to more people. But for everyone that has been clamoring for 6-inch G.I. Joe figures, here it comes in June. You're going to get your 6-inch figures. And, it's fine. Just because I don't collect modern figures doesn't mean that modern figures shouldn't exist. And just because I don't have a preference for 6-inch figures doesn't mean 6-inch figures shouldn't exist. I mean, the people who want those ought to be able to have them. That's great. Hi, Lexi. So yeah, it's that is the big news. The number one news anyway is 6-inch G.I. Joe figures available in June, and apparently you can pre-order them now at some of these retailers. Have a son so that I can share G.I. I'm gonna have to adopt one. So hey, Chris, do you feel like being adopted? I know you're a little old for that, but you can adopt an adult. I'm pretty sure. Matt says, "Don't see the point in churning out same figures again and again." Yeah, it's that is another fair criticism. They're launching a whole new line, and it's going to be a small line. So they have to get the most bang for their buck, right? So they have to do the characters that are most likely to sell. So it's not very likely that you're gonna get like a 6-inch clean sweep. Brandon says, think 6-inch figures will sell for $20 like Star Wars. If they can keep the price point at around that, that is fine. Thanks to Love After Lockup, I learned that was a thing. Wow, I've missed... oh yeah, you can totally adopt an adult. See, Lexi knows. I'll draft some paperwork on that. We'll get that started. It's not to say that everybody doesn't love clean sweep. I'm just saying, that's probably not in the top 5 or top 10. Iconic Blood says, I hope they don't just ignore the 3.75-inch collectors. I don't think they will, and I am... My suspicion is that there will be a lot more of the 4-inch scale figures when the movie is released. I think there's gonna be a movie line, and I would expect it to be a larger line than this very small 6-inch figure. Hello, Cujo. Hey, nice to see you, Cujo. Road Pig 6-inch. That sounds really dirty. We're talking about 6 inches and Road Pig, and where this I'm totally getting demonetized. This is what's happening. Glenn says my 12-inch Adventure Team Joes were $3.99. That's nice. They're a little more than that now. Comic Trope says, my guess, 2 lines, 6-inch for collectors, 3.75 for Snake Eyes movie that can accommodate vehicles. I think Comic Tropes is right about that. That's what I really think. There was talk about an evergreen line, which might include some kind of a set that includes some kind of a set that would actually appeal more toward younger kids. Something that probably doesn't have so many weapons. Something maybe along the lines of Imaginext or something like that. But that's a possibility too. I think, it's not impossible, I think, to get a G.I. Joe line that would appeal to younger kids, but it would definitely be different. It would have to be toned down quite a bit. So that is... that's the news. That's what's happening, and yeah, opinions on it are all over the map. People have lots of different feelings about it. However you feel about it, it's happening. So we've got to come to grips with that. So yeah, I guess, we'll keep an eye on the information that comes out of Toy Fair. That will provide us a lot more information. I'm thinking, and we haven't seen what the figures look like yet. I mean, there have been some stuff that some posts that have had like mock-ups, but I don't think any of those are the actual figures that are going to be released. But maybe we will see those at Toy Fair. And that's coming up, it's coming up in a little over a month. Oh, thank you, Matt. Hey, we haven't even talked about the review. Yeah, first review of the year is up. It is the 93 headquarters. It was really big and really hard to film, so I'm glad I got it done in time. I hope everybody liked it. That one was a lot of work. Those big play sets are always a lot of work. But I also announced the theme for the year. The theme for this year will be the 90s. We're going to be doing lots of 90s. Now, and I'm trying not to hate on the 90s. I'm trying to be inclusive and all that stuff. But you all know how I feel. And there's a lot to do. We just got to do it. The project of this channel is to review everything from the vintage era. So we got to get to this 90s stuff sooner or later. Well, I've decided it's going to be sooner. Radical. So, yeah. But it's not going to be all 90s, right? It won't be all 90s. In fact, there's one 80s item that's coming up pretty soon. So you're going to get some 80s stuff too. But we got so much 90s to get through. Let's just do it, Let's just do it, get through it, knock it out, so that the last few years of this project we can, look at some fun 80s stuff. Oh, hello, Mike Lancaster. I don't think I saw you come in. Yeah, I haven't reviewed the ammo dump. I thought somebody reviewed the ammo dump. Didn't FormBX257 look at the ammo dump? He may have done. It may have been one of those videos that he did, but he took down, like he was going to redo it or something. But I thought I could have swore FormBX257 looked at the ammo dump at some point. Foot pegs. There are foot pegs everywhere on that thing, which is good. I mean, that's fine. But yeah, they didn't skimp on the foot pegs. Comic Trope says every 90s wave had at least a few cool figures. The vehicles are the eyesores. That is the case with a lot of the vehicles. I may be able to show you even some good vehicles from the 90s. I'm gonna try to. But yeah, there's some good stuff in the 90s, and and I say that as someone with with an affinity for the 80s. There's some stuff in the 90s that I think 80s fans would like, so we're gonna find some of that. Broken foot. There was only one broken foot peg. Only one broken foot peg. Yeah, Hyperion. Yeah, I thought FormBX257 reviewed that. I thought, and I could be misremembering that, but I know I've seen it somewhere. Hang on a second. Hold on one second. we might as well answer this, and it would help if I click on the right thing. Let's see. Yeah, Joe, ammo, dump. No, I don't see it. Maybe it was somebody else. I'm apparently easily sidetracked because I had to stop the whole show to look up and see if Kevin has reviewed the ammo dump. But there will be plenty of good stuff from the 90s to look at. Stuff that you will enjoy. And for those of you who enjoy reviews of the stuff that ain't so good, there'll be some of that too. But one thing to just always keep in mind that my opinion is the least important part of the review. And I do not expect or require anyone to agree with me. And just because you like something that I don't like, or you don't like something that I do like, does not mean you are wrong. We don't do that kind of thing around here. And we talk about plastic all day long. Plastic doesn't have feelings. You can't hurt the feelings of the plastic. But whether you like or dislike the plastic does not make you dumb or stupid, and nor does it make you smarter than somebody else. We got to try to keep this in perspective. Jason Karras says Liquidator was a nice Cobra plane. I don't have the Liquidator yet. I really want to get it though, because the Liquid. I was toward the end of my collecting experience as a kid. I really wanted more G.I. Joe jets. That's why I ended up getting the Stellar Stiletto that's up there, is because I wanted more, or Cobra. I wanted more Cobra jets. And like the Liquidator came out too late for me to get it. So I'm interested in seeing it and seeing if it's something that I would have liked. Now I know it has that gimmick, right? It has the water gun gimmick, but that you can ignore. But does it have enough other features besides that to make it a fun toy? Sparkster says it was also a character in Humanoids. Yes, see, Green Yeti likes Globulus, and that's fine. There are a lot of people who like Globulus. There are a lot of people who love that 87 movie. Now, but okay, the flip side of that is just because it's just because I don't want to make anybody feel like they are that they're dumb or stupid or have poor taste just because they don't like something that but just because they like something that I don't like. If I don't like something, I should also be able to say that. So, and since this is my channel, if I don't like something, I will be saying that. So that's how that works. The Robo Joe table. Hey Gaz, nice to see you. Yep, I'm Bazooka. I just need some fudgies. You do get my honest opinions, good or bad, but again, that my opinion isn't any more reasonable than anybody else's. It just happens to be mine, and I happen to be the guy that owns the camera. Gotta have something to go with those old grenade-shaped water balloons. I got those. Anybody remember those? The water balloons that were like grenades? We got those. Need some green army pants and a helmet. Yeah, if I really wanted to do... I mean, I'm not above doing a paper mustache, right? I'd do that. I've done that before. And I might do it again if you're not careful. But yeah, I need to get a helmet. He has a backpack too. Somehow he has a backpack, but he doesn't have any straps, right? He's got no load-bearing equipment for the carrying of the backpack. Well, with this, it wouldn't be too hard to do a bazooka cosplay. Where's Bazooka? There he is. But one thing, like the jersey is a little bit different though. So you'll notice he has blue numbers with a white outline, and the jersey has white numbers with a blue outline. Still got the stripes on the arm though, and the blue collar. But I mean there are variations on the Patriots jersey, so it's not necessarily inaccurate, but it's just a little different from the jersey I have. Copyright issues with NFL, possibly. I mean, where's my? Here. So yeah, I mean, they did jerseys that looked a little bit like NFL jerseys, but not exactly. So you have the fridge here with what is not quite a Bears jersey. The blue is different. It's got his number, but nothing on the back. No sleeves and all that. So yeah, they don't necessarily have to worry about the NFL approving something if they just make sure it's not what the NFL has. So anyway, yeah, there's Bazook. Sorry, I missed some of the live chat. No way they could afford an NFL license and make a profit. Maybe. I mean, I don't know what their margin was at the time, but even if they could, I think Hasbro is too cheap to do it anyway. I think they would have looked for a way to avoid paying for the license anyway, because Hasbro can be a bit frugal. We'll use the word frugal. Yes. Bazooka and Quick Kick were such weird ideas. Well, at least Bazooka was wearing a shirt and shoes. So he can get service at the 7-Eleven, whereas Quick Kick not so much. Jason wants to hear it for James Bond, Billy somebody. Mecha ADC says, I admit I know nothing about American football and jerseys that they have. Well, that's okay, and you don't have to. There are a lot of American fans that don't know a lot about American football. So hopefully when I review figures that have something related to a football jersey, I will explain it enough that you'll get an idea of how it's connected. So... football Dusty. Or Footloose Dusty. I thought you said... See, now I've just got football on the brain. I read Footloose as football. Wetsuit Leatherneck. So... What else we got to talk about? We talked about the big thing, right? And it was a big thing. We have mixed feelings about it, about the 6-inch G.I. Joe toy line. Again, I'm not a modern collector, so I don't have any skin in that game. So, it don't hurt me. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe this will be, maybe it'll be a good thing. Maybe it'll be something that generates some interest. Uncle Hoodie's story time. Well, I didn't prepare a story, but I do have a book. Hey, I got a book to show you. Not one of the Find Your Fate books. I got a different book to show you. A better book to show you. I got this. If you're not following Kickley on the social media, spelled like that, you really should check the Facebook and the Twitter for Kickley. I got to meet Kickley at Joe Fest last year. He's a really cool guy. And he did these during the month of November for the Jovember event. He did paintings that were studies of the card art for G.I. Joe, which were originally painted by Hector Garrido. That's why this is called After Garrido. This just goes through the 82 through 84 figures, just the carded figures. He did this book that's a compilation of those paintings. And first of all, the book itself is really nice. I mean, the printing is very crisp. It's a very high quality book. But for an additional fee, you can get a custom piece of work in it. And he painted for me on the inside back cover, that's original artwork, the hooded Cobra Commander to me. And so that is cool. When I got this one, there were just a few of them left. He was almost out of them. So I don't know if there are any left, but if there are, you should check that out. I think they're worth getting. You can get them without the painting on the inside, or you can get one with the character of your choice on the inside. So, and again, check the spelling, Kickliy, and make sure you check him on Facebook and Twitter. Really cool guy. I really like his artwork, and so that is a recent acquisition that just came in the other day. So really cool. I can also, I got another topic. I'm full of topics. I am full of topics tonight. Usually I don't have any topics, so I feel like I should be commended for having topics. Not only a topic, but more than one topic. Right now on Patreon we are doing a poll to decide what review will be coming up. Toppy the topic. Topic tropes. For those of you who are on Patreon, or even those of you who are not, the options for the review coming up, what's the date? I can't remember. The date that it's coming up will be the 26th. Yeah, for the review that's coming up on January 26th, the choices for patrons include Ozone. There's his thing. Ozone. Or Flak Viper. And yes, he really is supposed to look that way. Flak Viper. Or the final option is Outback, the one from 93, with the hard hat. So construction worker Outback. So we are. The first poll is all 90s stuff, right? All 90s stuff, because we're working this 90s theme, right? This 90s theme for the year. We're gonna work it. We're gonna work it hard. So we gotta make hard choices. Hard choices. They won't be easy. Probably none of them will be easy. They may all be bad options. Sometimes all you have are bad options, and you just have to choose the one that's the least bad. So, that is going on right now. So if you are a patron and you haven't voted yet, make sure you skip over there and do vote, because you have until Friday. And whichever one wins, that's the one I will review on the 26th. Can you unpackage the Outback I sent you and burn the package, please? I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do. I try to accommodate. What happened to Outback? He became the cable guy. Yeah. So he was an outdoor survivalist for which you definitely need a hard hat. And like, is that acid wash jeans? I think he's wearing acid wash jeans. So yeah, great options. Great options. Yeah, everybody calm down. Nobody spook Green Yeti, he's young. So, yeah, we're doing lots of 90s, so I'm sprinkling in some 80s reviews. I have about half of the year scheduled, so I know what I'm doing at least up to Joe Fest. So I've got that part of the year planned out. But I can tell you that if I were to do nothing but 90s toys between now and then, I would go mad. I don't think I could. I don't think I could maintain my sanity. Comic Trope says, "Did you shut down my coffee?" I didn't exactly, but I'm not really using it. I haven't really been pushing it, so I kind of let it go. Oh yeah, there was a version of Cross Country I think also had that kind of acid wash jeans effect. Yeah, isn't that so hip? Hey, that will never go out of style. Never. Make a YMCA joke. Well, we got the construction worker. Yeah, so those are your choices, so think long and hard and deeply about it. Consult whatever deities you are connected with, and hopefully get some divine answers on what should be chosen. Rezkai says Christy Marks has some G.I. Joe scripts for sale from the Sunbow series. That's really cool. That's really interesting. I never would have thought to check on that. So, Rezakai alerts us that Christy Marks from her website, who wrote some episodes of Sunbow, has some G.I. Joe scripts for sale. That, especially for a fan of the animated series, that would be a really cool souvenir of that show. Jeff Jones said 90s were weird. Super Armored Law, Muskrat, Fisherman, Law and Muskrat, Fisherman Bazooka, Hunter Leatherneck, and Construction Worker Outback. Yeah, all of that's true. I cannot deny any of that. Any good ideas about rebranding Zartan and his siblings? Well, I mean, Zartan is pretty cool as he is, but I think the issue with Zartan is, and I think I pointed this out in the review, is like Zartan has maybe too many ideas altogether and maybe needs to be streamlined a little bit. Because you've got like the Shape Changer Master of Disguise, who is also the leader of the Dreadnoks, who is also a swamp dweller for some reason, who is also like a sort of a ninja guy. It's like Zartan is just everything. Xandar is always the problem, isn't it? But surprisingly, Xandar is the one that got an appearance in the movie in Retaliation. But he looked nothing like Xandar. It was Xandar in name only. You can decide for yourself if that's an improvement or not. But yeah. Peter Ang gets confused with Tarzan. I think it's an anagram for Tarzan. I think that's how they came up with the name. Okay, Comic Tropes in Retaliation, Xandar is the bald guy, the agent, like the Secret Service agent, that, like toward the end, he has the president, has a gun to the president. That is supposed to be Xandar. Wrap your head around that. Zarana is a pretty cool figure, too. I mean, she really has that, like, 80s sort of post-punk look to her. It's a bit retro now, but it's still really cool. You really wouldn't have to change it very much, if at all. Zartan's look, though, is, I admit, it looks great as an action figure. In a live-action movie, that look might be hard to pull off. They would probably have to modify it a bit. But, I still think they could have a more modern look that still evokes the overall feel of the 84 Zartan. Unless they want to go with Mohawk Zartan, that's always an option. That's also a sort of a punk thing that goes with Zarana. But see, RTD1 is insisting on Mohawk Zartan. In fact, if Snake Eyes doesn't have Mohawk Zartan, I'm demanding my money back. No Mohawk Zartan in Snake Eyes. 0 thumbs out of 5. 0 stars. And the Hyperion is begging to not have Mohawk Zartan. All right, let's not fight about it. I think we can compromise. I think, we can do half and half. Right? The front half has the Mohawk, but then the back half has the hood. You get both in one. Comic Trope says, "You think we'll see Snake Eyes' face in the movie? A figure would have to for its origin story." I think they've all but said that they will. I think that's the plan, and that is something that I've had the hardest time really accepting, because Snake Eyes does not show his face. That's a tradition. But I got to see how they do it. Maybe it'll be great. I don't know. But yes, we're supposed to see Snake Eyes before he has the mask. We're supposed to hear Snake Eyes before he loses his voice. So, yeah, we'll see. I'm trying to have a good attitude about it, because I could go into this movie with the attitude that it's not what I have, it's not what I know, it's not what I like, so I'm just gonna hate it. And I just don't think that's fair. I just don't think that's a fair way to see any movie, really. If you're gonna go into a movie expecting to hate it, then save yourself the trouble, But I'm going to go into it with a good attitude, with a hopeful attitude, hoping that, it's something that will appeal. Even if it doesn't appeal to me, maybe it'll be something that will appeal to a general audience. I hope. And, at the end of the day, I may end up not liking the movie. But if I do dislike the movie, it'll be after giving it a fair viewing, giving it a chance. Renegade Barker says, Zartan has Mohawk on one of the figures where I think he has a motorcycle that comes with it. Version 2 Zartan has the Mohawk from the Ninja Force line, but I think there wasn't there a modern, a figure subscription service Mohawk Zartan, or am I misremembering that? Yeah, figure subscription service experts, remind me if there was a Mohawk Zartan. Rezakai says yes, recently. Okay, all right. See, I didn't misremember that. Yeah, it's yeah. Honestly, I think when Larry has been skeptical about this movie too, and Larry's kind of protective of his creations. Larry has a hard time watching other iterations of G.I. Joe. He says it's because he bases these characters on people that he knows. And so when he sees these characters and they are acting differently, it just is it's kind of disturbing to like see somebody that's sort of like somebody that he knows, but they're not acting the way he would expect them to act. And I get that. But we'll see. That's another thing that I'm curious about is what will Larry think of it? I believe he'll see it. He did say that he met with the cast and crew in Toronto. He was taken around and shown some of their indoor sets, and I guess he met some of the stunt team. Who did Larry base Duke on? I'm not sure about that. He doesn't always say who he based the characters on, but he has said that most of the characters, especially the recurring characters, are based on people that he knows. And he has, on some occasions, said who those people are, but he doesn't always say who that particular person is. Which again I understand, because that is a person with a private life who may not want to suddenly get a bunch of attention from G.I. Joe fans. Snake Eyes Bob Light. It was Bob Light or Bob White. Yeah, there was a particular influence for Snake Eyes. Yeah. Raptor film was the 1980s Condor Man. Okay, Matt. When I was a kid, I must have watched Condor Man 100 times. And I knew even at the time it was a hokey, campy movie, but I still wanted like the car and the wings, and I still wanted like the Condor Man equipment, right? Because even though Condor Man was a ridiculous hero, I felt like if I had, that stuff, I could probably be a better superhero than that. I did go back and watch some of Condor Man a couple years ago. It doesn't hold up that well. I don't know that it held up all that good at the time, but it was pretty funny. Renegade Biker says, will you be doing reviews of either Sigma 6 or The Pursuit of Cobra, Rise of Cobra, or Retaliation this year? I don't have any plans to review Sigma 6. The others will depend on, first of all, whether or not I have them. And if I reviewed them, they would be probably in conjunction with a review of a vintage figure. What may happen this year is I may review some of the movie toys. That's something I had been considering for a while since I heard the movie was going to come out. It's not within the mission of the channel. I don't have to. They are modern. They're not vintage. It's just not. It's not what I collect. But I'll be curious about them. I would not review them instead of vintage figures. I would review them in addition to vintage figures. But I am curious. Just as a G.I. Joe fan, I'm curious about what they're going to do plastic-wise for the movies. Bonus episodes like that. Yeah, comparison time. I've been very careful to not say comparison time. I don't want to infringe on anybody's trademark. But yeah, I have in the past done a comparison of like vintage to modern, and I'll probably be doing more of those as long as I have the figure to look at. WWJD85, there was a Kickstarter to make a Larry Hama figure. I have no idea if it got funded or not, but I remember there was a Kickstarter specifically for that. And I don't remember who did it either. So that's a big help, isn't it? Yeah, just Google it. Put it in the Google. I like Buzz Dixon, even though I'm not a big fan of the animated series. Buzz did some good things for that series. he really, I think, added some, like, a little bit more realism to the animated series that I think it needed, especially in that second season. So I have a lot of respect for what Buzz Dixon did for the series. And yes, Buzz Dixon is responsible, sort of, for Cobra Law. But as he has stated, that's not his fault. That was a Hasbro directive. So, yes. So yeah, Buzz Dixon, we talk a lot about Larry Hama, and we should. But there are other writers and artists and creators who contributed to the G.I. Joe that we know. And Buzz is definitely one of those. Buzz deserves some recognition for that. Ron Friedman and Christine Marks, who was mentioned earlier. Lots of people. And we talk about Ron Rudat as well. He deserves credit. Kirk Bazigian, who is not necessarily creative, but he was part of the business operations that helped bring that about, and is responsible for a lot of the marketing strategies that got G.I. Joe to us in the first place and kept G.I. Joe popular for a long time. So, I want to give credit where it's due. I want to give credit to a lot of the creative people who helped make that line what it was. They are the reasons we remember it. Guy Cassidy, who designed a lot of the vehicles. Renegade Biker says, I have some of the movie toys. I'm collecting the vintage ones. So probably be doing the comparison of vintage and modern once I get them. Cool. Yeah, I think that's a good way to do it. I do kind of, even though I don't do modern reviews or modern focused reviews, I do kind of wish there were more modern focused channels. There are some. You can get your modern fix on the internet. But I think I'd like to see more of it. Even though it's not for me, there's a lot of modern stuff out there that I just don't think gets covered very much at all. So I think that is, on YouTube at least, that is an area of the fandom that is perhaps underserved. Jeff Jones says Ron Wagner or Rod Wiggum, but I love Golden's Nom stuff. I don't know if that was an answer to anybody's question, but I love both Ron Wagner and Rod Wiggum. Hang on one second. Speaking of which, this is my original art from Ron Wagner. From when I met him at Assembly Required. I got him to do a stalker for me. So, yeah, Ron Wagner. And Sal sends a super chat. Thank you, Sal. 6-inch line a la Marvel Legends instead of a Build-A-Figure piece includes 7.5 redo of the character. Hey, that's interesting. Satiates both collectors, sell it for $25 to $30 to cover cost, and do troop 3-packs for Cobra Infantry. That would definitely help the army building. Really intriguing idea. I'm curious if anybody else would be interested in that. So you'd get essentially get like the 6-inch figure and the 3.75-inch figure. Get them both. I don't know if everyone would want to pay for both, but if you made that an option, though, then people could upgrade to maybe a more expensive one, but also has the option of the 3.75-inch version of the character. And I was also saying Rod Wiggum, who is also a very important G.I. Joe artist in the comic book, will be at Joe Fest. I hope I'm remembering that correctly. Let me make sure I'm not not giving you false information. Let's see. 2020. Yeah, 2020. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like Rod Wiggum Joe Fest 2020. So, yeah, so that's going to be great. Probably the two G.I. Joe artists that influenced me the most were Rod Wiggum and Ron Wagner. Because, I mean, Rod Wiggum. Before Rod Wiggum, like, a lot of the Joe artists didn't seem to put a lot of effort into making things toy accurate. And Rod Wiggum, like, really tried to do that. So, the Vamp looked like the Vamp. Characters' uniforms at least closely, or tried to closely resemble, the figure's uniform. Comic Trope says Mike Zeck never did interiors, right? I don't think he ever did. I don't recall him doing interiors. He did a lot of covers, though. A lot of covers. But when I was a kid and when I was, like, trying to copy other artists and, like, kind of study what they did and kind of learn how to draw from looking at other artists, Rod Wiggum was the first one. And then when Ron Wagner came around, man, I really tried to get into his style. Because I liked it a lot. But, as a kid, basically, and I'm like 10 or 11 years old, I'm just learning, I wasn't that good. But those are the artists that I really wanted to emulate. But yeah, Larry Hama will be at Joe Fest. So also will Ron Rudat. So a lot of these names of people that we've talked about, you can meet them in person. And it'll be cool. And hopefully, if you're able to go, please come and say hello to me. And because I want to meet you as well. G.I. Gary says Wiggum was impressed with what Wagner did. Understandable. And I give all credit to Rod Wiggum. He has a very precise drawing style. It's very sharp. Ron's style, he was still able to get like a lot of the realism and the toy accuracy, but Ron's style also had like an energy to it. Comic Tropes sends a super chat. Thank you very much, Comic Tropes. I am a Patreon supporter of Comic Tropes, so make sure you check out that YouTube channel. Comic book reviews. Just put up a recent one about the Doomsday Clock. Fascinating review. Lexi wants to meet me. Well, I'll meet you on Thursday when we go back to work. Is Sparkster leaving? Oh, bye, Sparkster. See you later. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah. Oh, hey. We've actually burned through our hour, and it's like 3 minutes after 8. I should shut her down. It's been a long day for me, so I will let you all go for the evening. We'll be back next Tuesday. We've got a review coming up on Sunday. It is ready. I hope you like it. If you don't, too bad. It's going up anyway. Yeah, Lexi, I believe so. Yeah, it's yeah. Anyway, we'll talk later. I'll see you guys. It's the end of the evening for me, and I'm going to let you go. So thanks, everyone. Have a good evening. I will see you next Tuesday for a live stream, and I will see you on Sunday for a review. So thanks for stopping by. I will press this button here to switch this thing off. Bye-bye. See you later. No, stop it. Stop streaming. Stop now.